Well, what's going on, everybody? Michael Novo, Photo with Novo, and I have a little bit of a shift here. I've shifted over to the Sony camera system, which I'm actually recording this on, but there are some things that, as I'm buying the accessories, I figured I would review them as I got a chance to. I use an aftermarket battery grip, or I've previously used the Vello, and I had the chance to pick up both and sort of do a little side-by-side comparison between the two of them. One of the first things, the Vello, very light, and it may be a little bit difficult to see, but right inside here, it's kind of feels a little bit more plasticky. The grip feels great. This, I'm coming from a Nikon camera system, and the actual rubber here feels very close to it, very high quality. The Sony grip actually feels a little bit less grippy, so it feels slightly smoother, but a little bit more firm and sturdy. Just to give you a comparison between the two, the weight difference, so the weight of the Vello, this is without the tray. We've got, let's flip this to grams. So 194 grams, we're looking at 225 grams, that's with the battery tray on there. And the Sony with the battery tray is a little bit more, so 277, 50 more grams. But I will say this, that you definitely feel it in the actual build quality of the two. The Sony, on the other hand, if you look right inside here, has actually metal railing, feels more sturdy. If you, I don't know, let me do it near the microphone. So sounds relatively sturdy, and this dial very, very smooth to operate. The Vello feels a little bit more hollow. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's try it closer to the microphone. So a little bit cheaper of a build. The wheel has more of like a plasticky feel, a little bit more flimsy, both for the wheel and for the buttons themselves. So definitely like noticeable difference on the buttons between one and the other. The Sony feels much closer to what the actual camera feels like. This one, $79 for the Vello. The Sony is around, I believe, $280, $290. You could find some specials or them used, which they'll be a little bit closer to $200. So my overall verdict, even though the Sony is a little bit heavier, this is probably the one that I'm going to keep because it just feels like it will stand the test of time a little bit more. It feels a little bit better put together. The Vello is definitely not too bad and gives it a good run for the money. And previously for my Nikon grips, I have not been really able to tell a huge difference. I've used their grips before. There's a little bit more flex and more give that is happening with the Vello. Like, I don't know if you can tell here, but there's a little bit more in terms of like separation from there. And I feel like, if something is going to peel off over time, it's definitely going to be the Vello is going to start like separating. But I'm sure that that's going to take quite a while. If you're shooting on a daily basis and you're looking for a grip, I'd say if you're a full-time professional or you're shooting like a minimum of 3 days a week, or if you're doing weddings where you're holding a camera in your hand for maybe 10 hours plus, then definitely I would go with the Sony. If you're more of a casual shooter and you just want to have like some extra batteries with you on the day of the shoot, then I actually think that the Vello, for the $80 that it is not too bad. And just for comparison, we were at 277 grams. Weight does make a difference, but this is my old D810 grip that I used to use, and just for comparison, that one is actually looks like the same weight as the Sony. So I'm not really, let's put the two of them together. Yeah, they're within 2 grams of each other, so about half a pound, a little bit over half a pound. I think that it's definitely, the Sony one is the way for me to go, and just the build quality feels also a little bit better. So if you are deciding between the two, I would again look and say, okay, are you shooting daily? Is this going to get a lot of usage? If it's not, then honestly the Vello is totally fine for 80 bucks that you can get from B&H. That's their house brand. And the Sony, I think if you're shooting more on a regular basis, then definitely go with the Sony. I think that the long-term build quality will definitely be worth the price. This is Photo with Novo, and I'm Michael Novo.